Hey y'all, I know many of you are in this trial by fire season that I've been in as well. I know that it's a hard season and that people have misunderstood you, like they've misunderstood me, family, friends, people you were close to, and God's been kind of like setting you apart for whatever he has for you, especially those who are doing things for the first time in their families and are completely sold out for Jesus. Over the past week or so, I have been like feeling especially like drained and just all this stuff kind of coming to a head all at one time. But God gave me a dream that he wants me to share with you right now. I'll just start with the dream. I went back in time. So this is a real like sci-fi kind of dream. I went back in time and I saw my younger self. Not super young, maybe 5 years ago, like before the world crumbled, because the shirt that I was wearing, I remember buying it that year and my hair was still in highlights and stuff. So I believe it's like 2019, right? So about, I don't know, 4 years ago, right? So ultimately, I walk up to my younger self in this weird, like, shop slash restaurant space. And I asked my escort if it's okay to talk to my younger self and if it will like mess up the time space continuum or something like that. And she said it's okay to talk to my younger self. And so I go up to my younger self and I tap her on the back and I guess she just thinks that one of our friends is holding on to her shoulder and she looks over and looks at me and is like, okay, like why am I staring at me? Right? And so I talked to her, and we end up going to sit down at this restaurant, and I start to talk to her about all of the things that have gone on within the past few years. And as I'm telling her a lot of crazy things, a lot of spiritual things, a lot of just all the things that's been going on, she kind of just looks at me and like takes a breath, like, okay, right, okay, I guess this is what we're going to do, right? I started to maybe give too much information, and the escort that I was with kind of gives me a face, and we move towards like a back room for some reason, which kind of looks like a like the back of a church I used to go to, and we start talking in depth about like all the things that have gone down, and she's talking to me and understanding me and believing what I'm saying and understanding that, okay, this is my future. And so I have to take note into what is going to happen. I even like warn her about some people that we are not currently like on alert for. And this, it's the whole thing. I wake up from that dream and I am comforted. Like, I'm comforted by the fact that I was able to talk to someone and not be judged and not feel misunderstood and not feel like I have to over explain everything even though I don't have all the answers. Unfortunately, being first to do something means no one has ever done it before. So that means you get pushback, you get all kinds of craziness thrown at you from people you love, well meaning people, but ultimately their job wasn't to be first, it was yours. So I just felt so comforted in that after that dream. It's like she was entering into a season. See, can never talk. It's like she was entering into a season. My younger self was entering into a season. And then, but I was exiting one, right? By being able to have this conversation. And I felt so overwhelmingly grateful to God because he knows that no one that I know will understand me. And he took me back in time to talk to myself. Because sometimes you are the only one that understands. Y'all, the dream was trippy, and community is important. But ultimately, some things only you and Jesus will understand until it's time for it to be public and or it's time for God to reveal you to the world. So take courage in the fact that you're not alone and that he sees your pain. He sees everything that's been going on, and you're not going through this for no reason. He's preparing you, and whatever he's preparing you for is for your good. You can trust that. You can bank on it. That everything that he's preparing you for is for your good. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope in the future. Trust me. He says that he makes, he seats you at a table with your enemies. Right? He has good plans towards you, and whoever is your enemy or has become your enemy, or whatever's going on right now, take courage. You're not alone. The God of the universe sees you, and he is with you. Love you guys.